Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. Welcome to another HEDM's devotion. My name is Sister Shantel, and my topic today will be the tither's promise, taken from Malachi chapter 3 and verses 10. Okay, so as I always do, let's start with some meanings. So we're going to do two words today, which is tithes and promise. So the meaning of tithes: 1/10 of an annual produce or earnings, formerly taken as a tax for the support of the church and clergy. And the meaning of promise is a declaration or assurance that one will do a particular thing or that a particular thing will happen. Okay, let's get right into the reading. So I'm going to read from the King James Version first, of Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, said the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Here goes the Message version. Bring your full tithes to the temple's treasury, so there will be ample provision in my temple. Test me in this and see if I don't open up heaven itself to you and pour out a blessing beyond your wildest dreams. For my part, I will defend you against mondoers, protect your wheat fields and vegetable gardens against I'm pronouncing this wrong. It's Plunderers. The message of God of the angels of Emirates. So let's go into the meanings, the two meanings of the words that I couldn't really pronounce. I'm okay with saying that I have a problem with pronouncing words. It's okay. I understand that. So the very first word, it's spelled Maraudder. And that means one who roams from place to place, making attacks. And the second word is spelled Plunderer. And that means someone who steals or removes things, especially in a violent or severe way. So again, the topic is the tither's promise from Malachi chapter 3 and verse 10. And as we all know, for those who have seen me before, I try to always put myself into these topics and see what I can learn from it, and where I can encourage myself and where I can straighten up my act and get it together. Right? So tithing. Tithing is a thing that we have learned or heard as we grew up, that you must put 10% of your tithes to the church. As a child growing up, as a teenager, you're like, no, listen, I'm only getting $50. And if I put the 10% of my $50, that's $5. And as a kid, $5 is kind of a lot of money for you. May it be that you just wanted to go to the store and buy some candy. It's still $5. It's still not going to be a whole $50, right? And at those times, you felt it hard to do that. And you start questioning, is anybody really seeing? Is anybody really knowing that I'm not paying my tithes? So you tend not to do it. And as you get older and now your tithes, your amount of your tithes or what you have received becomes larger, because now you're working and you're making your own money and you're making more than $50. So now you're receiving a check for $500 and this is your money. And you're like, oh yes, I have more money. Let me not pay my tithes. Because out of this $500, this means that $50 should be your tithes. So it went from holding back your $5 to now you're holding back your $50, which $50 can make or break some people. Listen, $50 can make or break me at certain points in my life and certain days. I wish I had $50 when I didn't have it, right? So it becomes a little more difficult for you to keep that promise that you made, or understand that this was part of you being an obedient child, you being a follower of Christ, you being one of his disciples, you being a Christian, you understanding the word, again, being obedient. So I am speaking to the people that tithe consistently. Continue the great work that you are doing. Understand and believe that it says it in Malachi 3 that because you are being obedient and because you are following one of the covenants and because you are following the laws, that the Lord is going to bless you so much that you wouldn't even have room to receive it. And then I am a person that is very realistic in my speaking. I'm one of those that I believe in practicing what you preach. So I'm here to confess that I have been lackadaisic in my tithe giving. So I can speak on being a tither and not being a tither, and the difference that it holds within my day-to-day, within my life. While I was tithing, I would never think about if I have enough for these 2 weeks until I get paid again, or living paycheck to paycheck. That wasn't even a thought in my mind, or even a realization in my head that I was living paycheck to paycheck, because I always had something left over. So for me, it wasn't living paycheck to paycheck. As I have stopped and I've been lackadaisic with my tithe giving, and saying to myself that, oh, I'm going to catch up this month, or I'm going to catch up the next month, I'm going to catch up in January. I've seen the difference. If I'm going to be truthful, I've seen the difference. All right. Yes, there's a difference, because now I'm like trying to adjust or make provision, where before, when I was a frequent tithe giver, a consistent tithe giver, I didn't have to make any adjustments. I was able to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, buy everything I wanted to buy, and have leftover. Now I'm playing, okay, this will have to wait until next week, and this will have to move over here for this to make it work. So I have come to a realization where I know that I was doing wrong, that I'm going to check myself. I'm asking the Lord for his forgiveness. I always say that the Lord dropped these topics in the pastor's head and in her mind, and then she mixes it up with her own thoughts on who she should give these topics to. And of course, then again, it falls into my garden. So I'm going to pick it up. I understand where I fell short. I understand that I'm being disobedient to his word. We also have to understand, as Christians, as Jesus followers, as people that believe in the word, we have to understand that we are being tested, right? There's no way that we get a paycheck and Uncle Sam is going to say, okay, I'm going to allow you to give me the taxes that's owed onto me. And the definition, when I read it, the definition of tithe is a formulary of tax given to the church, right? Uncle Sam is not waiting for us to get the check for us to take out the taxes to give to him. He takes it out immediately. So if we were able to do that, would it have been easier for us as Christians to pay our tithes? Because you don't see it, so you don't really feel it. I get it. But guess what? God is testing us. He's testing us. He's saying, here you go. Here, Shantel, I'm giving you this amount of money. Let me see what you're going to do with it. You know that 10% is mine, but are you going to give it to me? So now you're becoming a robber. Now you're robbing. So now you're being disobedient and you're being a robber. Girl, you better wake up. You better check yourself. So I am here to encourage us and warn us at the same time. Encourage us that we have a just and a truthful and an understanding God, that he understands when we know that we've made a mistake and we need to check ourselves, right? I'm warning us because if we do not check ourselves, all we're doing is making it worse. So be encouraged. Check yourself. It's okay to say that I made a mistake. It's okay to say that I was falling short in this space, in this part, in this portion of my covenant, in this portion of my agreement. It's okay to say that. But once you have said that, it's time for you to put some action into your words and check yourself. Shake yourself up, realign yourself, get it together. So I'm going to say to myself, Shantel, let's get it together. Let's shake ourselves up and let's get it together. Let's fix this. All right. So let us be tithe givers, because we have to remember that the upkeeping of this church, the church is the place that is your school. It's the place of comfort, you know, amongst many other things and many things that it's doing not only for you, but for people around you. So stay encouraged. Be blessed. Have a wonderful and a blessed day. May it be morning, evening, or afternoon. Please continue to trust in the Lord. Be obedient. Take that disobedient spirit out. Ask the Lord to remove it. Lord, I'm asking you to remove the disobedient spirit that we all have in us. Please remove it. Sometimes we don't even know that we have it there, but it's there. So I'm asking him to remove it. Remove the disobedient spirit out of our mind frames, our conversations, our day-to-day thoughts. Let's follow thy will and thy way. All right. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, give us the thumbs up, tune in, because you know you're about to get a little something that's going to carry you through. All right. Have a wonderful day.